before we take screenshots. You must be busy driving. But there's so many points of congruence here. And
I just came back home.
oh, you did. Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we'll take a Are you able to get on camera, or should it doesn't matter when I take my screenshot?
Uh, yeah, you can. Let me just put my lippy on then.
Yeah. Take your time. I'll go back to what.
And I'll
So
say, I'm ready for the action.
yeah, great. So Ina was talking about creativity, and so was His Excellency, and um, the idea of adapting came into play in that, Ina's just getting out there and trying these new things, and life is always throwing something new at us. So using our ethics to guide us, like Kato was saying, that her ethics are guiding her as she moves to a new place. And the when you use the ethics to guide you as you make these changes in your life, and storytelling is a form of creativity. I am much If I were to draw or paint, I would paint stick figures, but I can write all day long. And I hope to finish my novel soon. But this creativity and this adaptability comes into play in business when we have our core values in the back of our mind, and then but we adapt our business to the changes in the marketplace, because business is never staying the same. There's always a new competitor, and we have to adapt to what that's bringing to the table. And I think I I'm now an adjunct for Sinclair University, and I was just teaching a session on a brand here called Old Spice. And Old Spice was a male. It is a male. Tata's nodding her head.
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course.
yeah,
We
back in
have
the
one. It's fine.
yeah, you do. Well, back in the day, in as recent as 2010, it was only used by old men. It was my father wore it, um, and that was about it. But they were losing market share, and Procter and Gamble bought them. Ironically, Procter and Gamble is in Cincinnati, right near my house, and they created a huge campaign to appeal to a younger audience, and it went viral, and they earned 1.2 billion dollars in imprints, in social media imprints, in like a year, starting in 2010. And Kata knows the brand, and it's
Yeah, they were rebranding, and it's a red.
yeah, it, it went viral because it's so popular. My husband uses it. My son
Yeah,
uses a different one. The brand names are funny. We have, speaking of men and women, there's Swagger, and that's the one that the line that my husband uses. And then there's Fiji. That's the one that my son uses. And so you can see this creativity and the adaptability, but leading with their strengths. They had this ability to make these male colognes and male deodorants, and they used their infrastructure, but adapted to a changing marketplace to become wildly successful.
I mean, regarding Old Spice, so popular that because I think it's more popular with the ladies than the men, because I feel it reminds them of their dads. And for me, I still have my dad passed away, God bless his soul, but I still have his Old Spice with me. I keep it like I keep it.
Really?
It's like something, a memory from him. It's not like I use Old Spice, but I keep that because I feel that belong to him. That smell, special smell,
Yeah.
and that's my. You touch my heart just by saying that because I still have it, that old bottle with me.
Wow.
Yes, I keep it with me.
So
I yes. Just one comment about storytelling. One of the companies, there was 9 companies coming from creative industry, and one of the companies representative is the one actually His Excellency also were able to talk to. He's making lamps out of plant. And the most unique version how he tells the story of his business is that when you have your wedding, collect the plants and the flowers of the bow and of the plants or the flowers was part of the decoration. And if you give it to him, he makes a lamp out of it as a memory. So you can take those flowers with you forever and have it in your home, in your living room, and have this beautiful lighting lamp, standing lamp or desk lamp in front of you. And it's actually made out of those flowers. But this is just one glimpse of his story. And I think storytelling and also Old Spice in Hungary, there were huge um, um, TV promotions and a lot of marketing, and they all used storytelling with Old Spice as well in different perspective. And just going back to this, how important in business to have your story in it. And I told them when they arrive that you have to stand on stage. Do you have the story? And then some of them, they were like, oh, but we have to practice. And oh, okay, let's do it together. And self-confidence also helps a lot here. So I think self-confidence, ethics, and storytelling can make it different. Sorry, just my family arrived. So this is my last word here, that yes, storytelling is extremely important.
You know, I would just add to what Ms. Kato said. It's so beautifully and such an important topic and subject is the story. So well done to you for choreographing your team in order to create. See, that's again a lady plays that role. You know, it's tough for a man to have done that. So there you go. That's amazing. That's the foot ladies playing in the football men's football team. That's it. It happened in a different perspective, of course. So you gave that touch, ladies' touch to the men businessmen. They said, "What story? We're just selling our product." You know, they can't think. And again, very important part of today's business is emotional intelligence. Again, we have to keep in mind of artificial intelligence, but there is something called emotional intelligence. I very much believe in emotional intelligence more than artificial intelligence because we humans are still real. Okay, we are not artificial yet because I see the robots are coming into people's lives, but we don't want to replace a robot instead of a real human. But so human intelligence is comes with emotions, and we still have emotions a bit left in us, and which we is very important. Like that, you brought in the emotions in me by mentioning Old Spice. See,
I had
so
no
there's a
idea
big
what happened.
But yeah, but it's a big possibility. I might be going tonight looking for allspice. See, that's called emotional. You know, emotionally, I got involved into something from the past, and it could help that business. So if I bought allspice today, and you ask me how's your feeling or your emotions, and I could express what connects me with allspice, just like people have Coke for 40 years, for example.
Oh, yes. But and Coke adapts to the market constantly. You know, they came out with names on cans, and there's always this big long rivalry between Coke and Pepsi. But when you mentioned the ladies, the research that Procter and Gamble did, they learned that 60% of male self-care products, deodorant, soap, whatever, they're made by women. So it is, the marketing campaign was designed to appeal to the women because it's the women who are buying the soap and the cologne for their husbands. So it all kind of ties together. We go back to how ladies influence these scenarios. But I also wanted to go back to what Kata was saying. I know she's not here right now, but she was talking about confidence to get on stage. And it is your core values. And if you're leading with your own story, that gives you confidence. So I thought that was another tie-in here to ethics and core values, because if you get too distant from your own background, then you lose your sense of self and you lose your sense of confidence. And one of the things that His Excellency and I were talking about before the meeting was the idea of resilience. So it's not that bad things never happened to anybody in the past. Bad things do happen. But how do you move forward with resilience, and how do you overcome something bad that happened in the past, and how do you convey that and communicate it with authenticity? And I may end up teaching, we're not sure yet, for Sinclair. They have prisons here, and so I may be teaching college in a prison. And it was interesting that the lady who was interviewing me, she said, you have to come at this from a place of genuine empathy, but focused on helping them to overcome their past, because they've all experienced lots of trauma. But she thought that was very important, to come at that job of teaching university to prisoners from a place of genuine empathy and overcoming. And I thought that was quite profound. And that leads back to what His Excellency was saying about emotional intelligence. And it's not just about, oh, this bad thing happened to me and I'm stuck in the mud and it's blah, blah, blah. No, it's this bad thing happened and I'm overcoming it. And it takes work to do that. And it takes communication skills to say, you know what, I'm having a rough day. I'm not going to be in a place where I'm going to have that kind of growth. I need a day alone. But anyway, it may have been a tangent, but I think it's all kind of weaving together into a new art form. I must have
Absolutely.
sparked somebody's curiosity or a thought in somebody else's mind. Sabah came back. Oh, there she is.
Back.
Oh, yeah, go ahead, Sabah. You
Can
don't
I
need
just
to
bring can I just bring something on that, what you have mentioned? Well, I think it's very wonderful. The questions you've been asked to us, or what you're trying to tell us, which is more into like a mentor things, and as well as just bringing what's actually happening in our daily life. Yeah. So as a photographer, as a documentary degree student, what I have learned from my ethnic values and core values is, since I've been into that business industry, my first plan was to look my ethnic values, to see that what I can bring from my perspective, and from my ethics, what I have learned from my parents. Yeah. And then bringing that into it, what I have also learned from my teacher. Yeah, because obviously what I have understand, the first thing you learn from your parents, second thing you learn from your teacher, and third things that you progress this into your business life, right? So I think it's been 2 years that I'm in this business, like as because I'm teaching photography, I'm doing lots of workshops for adults, for children. Um, but you won't believe, from past 2 weeks, I am actually questioning myself that what is actually happening with me. Am I balancing my ethnic values? Am I bringing that, core values as well? You know, because I am being emotional from past few 2 weeks, and I am kind of like in that way that I am not behaving good with my colleague, with my person who is coming to learn, you know. So I think coming to this meeting today, and you just ask question that, they talking about the ethnic values and core values. I need actually help from you guys. How can I balance that into my business life? How can I keep that core value same as what I have think from the day one, being as a businesswoman, you know? Because obviously right now I am meeting 1,000 people. I am meeting people from different countries, and bringing their different emotions, bringing their different value. I feel like from past 2 weeks, I can't cope that. I feel like I just being that resistance person that I just don't know what to do. So I feel like I am away from that. And to be honest, today was the time that I was literally in the group with that different people. We've been talking about making a film next week for Halloween, because I'm away from after 2 weeks because of my dad's surgery. So next week we have made a time where we're gonna do film for children, and some adults, they were like, oh, they're gonna help me with some script writing. And you won't believe, in the end of the day, I was like, I'm gonna leave the room. You know, I just feel like I don't want to be like this. So that core values and ethnic values, I feel like I need some help to bring that back and see myself as a woman activist helping people. I just don't want to be draw my attention like this. I don't want to become like who I'm not.
It's not a coincidence that you're bringing this and trusting this group with what you're going through, Sabah. And I'm grateful that you trust us with how you're feeling. And I
Yeah.
believe I may relate to this because we've been discussing this knee replacement surgery.
Mm,
And it's the reason why I didn't hold a session in September,
mm,
because I know that my sense of empathy is very high. So, and while we know that the surgery that your father is about to have will benefit his life,
yeah,
when my husband was in pain, it hurt me. So I
exactly.
couldn't come on to a platform and be
Mm,
like, hi, everybody, everything's great, because I knew that where I needed to be was just with him and giving myself the strength to
mm,
help him through that rough period. So I don't think that you have strayed from your core values or your ethics at all. I think that your natural sense of empathy for what your father is about to go through is very prevalent and very on the surface of you. So it's hard. It could be. I'm just putting this as a possibility that it could be hard for you to be with other people who can't understand that, because it's
yeah.
such a it's just on the surface of your skin right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then obviously what's happening, that's what I just mentioned earlier. Obviously the manners I have learned from my parents, yeah. I feel like I just don't want to be questions that somebody will say to me, oh, look how you're treating other people. Look your behavior. Do you get me? Because this is not what I am. This is not who I meant to be. Because I always being so calm with people, and I just feel like that we deserve who we are, and then what we learned, I want to convey that message to other people. So then at least other people can learn from me rather than having that behavior. Because what is impacting on now, that my colleague is like being more different than I'm thinking. Because like from past 2 weeks, I'm seeing the behavior, I'm seeing the different behavior, and that's what I don't like it. So it's a bit of kind of like that values I feel like is going down. And I just feel like that today, obviously, you bring that questions right on spot, and I feel like I just wanted to come out, what I'm feeling right now, and just wanted to get help. That how can I balance that in my life? Although yes, because as a human, we go through so much in our life, yeah. But when it comes to business, it has to be that we have to leave everything, whatever we are going through, and being straight on the business. So at least it won't affect to our business. But it is affecting from past 2 weeks, and I was in the moment. I feel like I just want to quit. I just want to resign because I'm the co-director of the company, and if I do leave that, I feel like I'm in a big loss. So I just don't want to do that as well.
Well, maybe His Excellency can have some guiding words.
As
Yeah,
Miss Saba, thank you for opening up your heart and mentioning the core. And this is what we all go through it. Don't
yeah,
don't think that it's just you're going through it. The world is going through it after the pandemic. We had a great chat, Miss myself and Dr. Jessica. We talk and extensively on a lot of issues. And this is another important issue because it's like a good fellas and bad fellas. Yeah, it's good guys and bad guys. You must have heard all these things, and they're all, you're not alone. You have to always think when we have some kind of we are all overwhelmed at some point in our lives, sometimes on a daily basis, but you have to come over it in order to carry on. I will remind you a discussion between the former Prime Minister of UK, considering you are from the UK, I will say this.
yeah.
Having a chat with late Her Majesty the Queen Elizabeth. And Queen Elizabeth at one point was not happy, well, why Britain have so many enemies, because they have friends but at the same time creates a lot of enemies. Why?
Yeah,
So Margaret Thatcher explained very clearly is that if we don't have enemies, that means we are not progressing.
that's true. That's very true.
Saba, you are progressing. That is why you're facing these obstacles.
That's true. Yeah, the hardships, because every day
Okay,
I feel like,
hardships. It's natural. You're going to face many of them in the future. Be ready and just you did it so far, you will do it in the future. That's what
one also other thing I have realized, when you have too much competitors, you will see yourself that you just can't be beyond that person. That person is bringing new things all the time. And
but
I
but
feel
you
like
have to
I want
remember,
to be.
Saba, I will break you there. You are real or are you fake? Like the president says, fake
Yeah,
news. Are you real? Are you fake? You're real. Real
mm,
people will remain right to the end. And
exactly.
people
Yeah,
who are creating stuff with I can't create something every day new. Miss Ina sitting there cannot create a new form of art tomorrow, and so she has to master what she made behind her. Beautiful, Miss Ina. So she has to keep practicing and mastering it in order to be real. Because there are a lot of fake people come in because, oh, this is the trend. I'm not into fashion business or making clothes, but I start making because Dr. Jessica is making money from doing that business. There are a lot of people in the world. There are
yeah,
fake business people. They start up and they shut down. After 6 months, you hear they don't do that business. I'm sure, Miss Saba, you have friends who set up some business and they don't do that anymore.
that
And
happened.
because they don't persevere. And like we agreed, me and Dr. Jessica, you need to be resilient, persevere, and keep
Yes,
keep
because
doing
it
it.
is important.
Nothing comes easily, but I believe in you. You're saying this itself shows the quality that you're going to do things in a long run. And you have to read some stories how difficult it has been in the movie industry or documentary making or filmmaking. People, they suffer a lot, but in the end, um, you succeed because you are talking about many fields. I don't know you personally, but I see you are into photography, you're into teaching it, you're into co-directing documents. You have too many things. I think you're not going to fail. That's my take. Thank
But
you.
I think, thank you very much, Sheikh. It is very impressing and very kind of like giving me that hope. But one other thing is because if you don't communicate each other, what will happen? You will lose that contact, right? And then when I say that means like even if my colleague is next to me and then we're doing the same thing, yeah. But obviously the empathy and the support is going to other colleague. I feel like I'm left over. I feel like that my value is being down because we're doing the same thing, we're doing the same work, or maybe more than that, because my co-director he is more into presenting way or talking with people, and I'm the one who is behind the camera doing everything, editing, meeting people, teaching them. You see, obviously I'm not saying that I'm good enough than him, but obviously he needs to understand that my value, he needs to appreciate me, that my work is like more valuable, obviously, than when we are telling other people, rather than if he's saying that I'm the one who does that, I'm the one. Like, I don't like when somebody says I, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to
Yes,
hear that all the
perfect.
time.
Miss Sabah, it's perfect you brought that subject. And Dr. Jessica, we had spoken about this just few minutes back. It's about perhaps we would have another session which we will dedicate to communication skills. So, Ms. Saba, I think what's missing out with your coworkers or the directors need to be spoken. Communication is very important. Me and my dear friend Ms. Rodika is also we had a similar situation where I mentioned to Ms. Rodika that communication has to be made. We the issue is good people. The problem with good people who do not communicate about something wrong or bad, you're equivalent to a bad person. Because good politicians are the reason the world has problems because good politicians are quiet.
That's true.
If they were speaking out their minds, they will be a majority, and trust me, the world will be a better place to live. So we
Yeah,
started communicating and we are getting what we want. So it's very important you communicate. I don't like this. Sometimes a driver of a company in Qatar will say, boss, I'm not going to drive on this route.
yeah, yeah.
And it's very difficult. It's the most difficult route you have given me. So he, even as a driver, is the lowest paid job in Qatar. He has the right. But once
Mm,
he expresses the he communicates compared to the other 99 drivers did not communicate and they were suffering, but this one driver communicated. There's a big chance he could be the next supervisor of the other drivers because the boss will see that he's got the skills to communicate.
yeah.
Communication is so important, and that's my best advice for you. And
And to be honest,
thank
and definitely, I'm going to take this advice because, to be honest, my plan was to not to communicate with them for about 2 to 3 days, and then straight meet him for our next film session on Saturday. So I thought I'm just gonna keep quiet, and I know what I'm gonna do, and then I have not need to talk to him. But you know what? From today, from the meeting, and what I just feel like I wanna take this forward, I wanna sit with him. Maybe rest tomorrow because Sunday is the day I just wanna rest and do some meditation, and then I'm gonna have a meeting with them and talk, and then we will plan, because otherwise you're right, if I'm not gonna plan, I know maybe I messed up on Saturday, maybe I messed up on our next
but
film session.
but I will set up a meeting tonight for Monday. Thank you.
Yes.
And it's
Thank you
important,
very much.
Sabah, so leaders are able to have tough conversations if they're real leaders with
Yeah.
people to help them move in a better and healthier direction.
Mm,
And these aren't necessarily, we do get emotional inside if we have to have one of these tough conversations,
yeah.
but it's very important that we do have them with the authenticity of our own self. Say, I'm just not okay with the direction this is going,
Mm,
and I need to put that out there, and I want to go in a different direction.
mm,
Otherwise, you'll just keep going in the same yucky
mm.
direction.
Exactly.
But I want to transition because we've been joined by Christina Labarik. So welcome, Christina. We're glad you're here. You're muted. You're muted.
Good evening, everyone. You hear me now?
Yes.
Great. Please accept my apologies that I'm late a little bit, not a little bit, 1 hour, I think, tonight, because I had a very important meeting. I had to do it. I couldn't reschedule it, so I'm happy that I'm joining you finally now a little bit.
We're very happy to see you, and your outfit is just lovely.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate I'm coming directly from the meeting. And after that, I have another meeting at 7:30, so I hope that I will do it.
Well, we're lucky that you were able to break away from the group to join us for just a few minutes.
I'm happy to join it.
Your Excellency, did you want to say something to Christina? I know she has only a little time.
Welcome, Ms. Christina, to the webinar today. Like always, you are very um, regular member of the group, so thank you. And would you like to comment on the topic we have? What do you think women, considering coming from Macedonia, considering you have a head of state who's a lady, how do you think the transition of women is happening in the field of business, considering your mom is also a businesswoman? So just share a light what ethics and values you need in order to be a good businesswoman, considering what you've learned from your mother. I understand you moved into diplomacy and then you're moving into business and work again. How do you find that transition? Thank you.
Thanks a lot for your question. It's very interesting, really. I have to think about this. Because now you find me just with this question because I don't have time to think about this topic. So I will say something what is coming in my mind at the moment. And it's a very interesting topic. What you said, a very good to think about the transition of a woman from also from public sector to private, and it's very interesting how a woman play a role in this very important this sector, like a business. Mr. Farhan mentioned for my mom that she's coming for a business as a businesswoman, and she taught me a few things regarding this because, as you know, me as a former diplomat, I'm coming from a government, from public sector. So it's a little bit tough to make transition, from one to another. What she said that previously you was like an embassy, like protected, like when a chicken or when I was living there, with everybody, that they take care about you. But now you're in the private sector. Now, it's a different story. So you have to take care about yourself. You're not anymore, you're not a representative of government. So this transition is tough. Now, also, what Mr. Farhan mentioned about lady, president of this time. This transition, what I found, it's very interesting. She plays a very important role, and so far herself very good. Actually, she's coming from a very interesting department. She was a teacher, or not teacher, sorry, of the science of law. If I'm not wrong, I think so. So she knows how to behave. She knows all these things in order to be connected with this all that she's playing. So I think that I just wanted to reach the question that again.
Thank you, Christina. Yeah, Your Excellency, do you have I was having trouble hearing her. Were you able to hear her?
Yeah, I mean, she mentioned a few things about herself, the transition from diplomacy into public life, and about her mother being in a background being business, and also about how it's transforming Macedonia after through their president, lady president. It's very important. Like we mentioned the previous edition of our webinar was saying that how the world politics are on transition, and especially in regards to a lot of lady leaders or heads of states in Asia has been replaced by men. So I think women need to further unite and support women who are actually taking up careers into business and into it's I would see this happening in Qatar actually. We the world has a different perspective about Arab women or women from Qatar or in the Arabian Peninsula. Not long time ago, we had lady business women and selling vegetables, selling fruits, selling fish, selling running the markets in Qatar. You won't believe it today because and the shops were owned by the ladies, and that is transformed. And because Qatar developed and the Arabian Peninsula developed, have oil producing big turning to oil producing countries, and they decided to step back, sit back, and have someone to work for them. So this is how the women went back again, and now they're out again. Now ladies here work, and because they work, they earn, they drive, and they travel. So they do more than a lot of women do in the world. They take their families and go abroad. They are buying houses abroad, women owned, and half of the houses and properties in Qatar are owned by women, ladies. So as either they are buying it or they are inheriting. So there is women are very protected in the society. They inherit properties from their fathers and also from their husbands, and also they are buying themselves. So it's amazing how things are moving for women in this part of the world, and we find in almost all the ministries and everywhere women taking up important roles. And now, because they are earning money, now they are start setting up their businesses again. So we have big chunk of the new businesses registered in the country are actually owned by ladies. So just to give something very positive, what's happening here. So I won't be surprised why it should not happen somewhere else. Like our friend from the UK, Sabah, she is co-directing it. One day she could be running it, and the whole thing at the initial stages is very important in businesses that they have to be very patient. Like myself and Dr. Jessica had a discussion how people hurry to get things and they mess up a lot of things. And while there's a sector of people, they will go step by step. They don't hurry, and they would have everything in just a little bit longer. But the problem in the middle class sector is they want everything today. So people come near to Qatar, and the bank will say, "Hey, you know what? You can have a house, you can have a car, you can have this, you can have a travel just next day." And this for me is not real, and this is not yours. It doesn't belong to you because you have not earned it. So for some reason, the credit crunch happened a few years back. We all have seen that time of credit crunch. uh, um, Financial crisis around the world was connected with real estate, where people bought things they did not afford to buy it, and it created a bubble. And then when the bubble is created, it could burst. So we all faced it, the world faced it, because we all made the same mistake of trying to have something you can't afford, or you believe that you can afford tomorrow. So it's a saying in Qatar, إن شاف بكرة, who saw tomorrow? To be actually planning something for tomorrow. So something you can do today, do today, and do plan it, but don't plan with someone else's money. Thank you.
And you're also saying, what small steps can you take today to lead to a bigger tomorrow? Oh,
I mean, I will take an example which we have discussed, Dr. Jessica. If you want to say that, I mean, you might as well. You say it. We've spoken about it, about my assistant, one of my assistants, what he is doing. It's just.
Oh, yes. So, well, I have a friend, and she's been a friend a long time, but she said, I'd love to have a doctoral degree, but I don't want to do all that work. And it was a 9-year process. It's not always 9 years, but like whatever it is you're trying to achieve, you do one thing one day, and that leads you towards your future. But it's not, and I have these colleagues right now at the library who are having conflict with the library work. And I think that this is a part of the younger generation of they want a work-life balance. And that's wonderful. I've always had a work-life balance, and not everybody can have that. But what my colleagues have said is, well, we don't want to work at the desk for 8 hours. And HR is like, but that's the job. Like you've been at this job for 3 years. It's not like you don't know what the job is, but you don't want to serve the patrons of the library. You want to sit in the back. And how do you move to a healthier place where and maybe it's not the right job for them. So how can you be authentic and do the job that you've accepted to do in order to get to those long-term goals? And then that leads right back to core values or ethics, because when you teach smart goals and achieving smart goals, you start with values. What are your core values? Your core values will give you goals. And then from those goals, you will do things to achieve them. And then it's a big full circle. But, His Excellency was bringing up unrealistic expectations of just getting it today, or getting something that is not in our income bracket to achieve. And I said that humans' nature, we often speak of human nature, and how do you address human nature and lead it, that we are want machines. And if something that we want is given to us, or we get it, we achieve it, it's immediately replaced with another want. And learning how to manage that I think gratitude helps, being grateful for what we have as opposed to wanting something that we don't have. But managing that constant state of want is a part of maturity and leadership. And it goes to how your core values. But we've also been joined by, I know that your name is not Onyx Tone, but can you remind us your name?
Ms. Glee, welcome.
Thank you for the invitation. I've been with patients back to back, so I choose this small time I have free to join the meeting. Well, I think when we want to work for something in life, first of all, we need to invest in time. The best investment we can do in our life is not to buy a car and not to buy a jewelry. We need to invest in time above all. This is the most important thing. We need to save time for ourselves, and we need to be grateful for what we currently have and keep working hard for what we want to achieve. Because when you have a goal, you work hard for that goal. You cannot set aside, you cannot sit to wait for that goal to work for you. So you need to work for what you want. And the only way you have to achieve these things is investing in time and trying to get it. It's not only to talk about it time to time. I will do this, I will do that. The main thing you have to do is to start. You beginning, your beginning will be the line you will throw to get what you want. So we cannot rely on words. We cannot rely on thoughts. We need to walk forward. We need to work for what we want to achieve in life. This is my concept to get any business, any dream come true, any possibility to change our life. It's not to say I don't want to stay in a desk for 20 years. It's I will move forward and you need to start up with something. You cannot stop searching here, searching there. Dreaming is amazing, but you need to work for your dreams. It's not bad to dream, but if you wait your dreams to come to you, you will not achieve them. You need to work to get your dreams come true. So this is the concept I have to get whatever you want in a business field. This is what I think.
It would be a work ethic. You're talking about a basic, and it is a core value, is a work ethic, and different generations work through that differently. We've been talking about different ethics and core values, like whether it's integrity or respect or compassion, maybe. Do you know your core values? Have you ever gone through the exercise of identifying them? Obviously, work ethic is important to you, but is there some core value that resonates with you?
Well, I think that one of the best core values we can add when we are working for something or in a business and the ethics we need to apply, first of all, is silence. This is the first thing we need to apply, silence. Why I say silence? Because when you are complaining all the time in your business, in your work, even if you are not satisfied, you will not have that space. You need to build up things. So don't complain. Don't complain too much. You can share with a friend, whatever it is, but don't complain too much. Just keep silence, work hard, and go through what you want to get. This is the big I think that the big stone, you can build something big if you work that way.
I feel like
It's
she's saying,
interesting.
I feel like
Go
she's
ahead.
saying,
Sorry.
don't,
We
I
are,
feel,
of course,
I feel
not
like she's
always we
saying
are.
to me, don't complain, just be quiet, and then look for your core value by yourself. But I think this is a good chance to speak out and just share your feeling, and then it's just so good today. What I'm getting so many good things from people. The value is very important, and then when you are in your low mood, you just need to hear people story. You just need to hear people comments. So I feel like from your all comments today and the feedback, I'm gonna take this forward and then use that in my life.
I look
Yeah,
forward.
But
yeah.
ladies, I will interrupt there if you don't mind. It's great, but there's two different subjects here completely. It's
I
between
agree.
Miss Saba and Miss Glee. We cannot mix. There's a different angle to Miss Glee, a different angle to you, Miss Saba. You are working and you're coordinating. Miss Glee is working in an organization where at times with her line management, she has to balance with patience and silence because she's following at the same time she has some other plans she can carry on because at her workplace if she disturbs her focus it will not help her to focus on some other business opportunity she might be thinking about. So that's in Miss Glee's mind. For you, Miss Saba, you're already into a project where you have a partner. Miss Glee does not have a partner in the business she's right now working with. She has line management. For you, you have a partner. For your partner, you need to communicate. It's just like a husband and wife or a partner. You need to communicate.
That's right.
Silence is not going to work for you, Miss Saba. You must communicate and send me a very short message on our group. How did it work? Get an appointment for Monday.
I
Just
will.
when you say ask for an appointment, see
Please
the
do.
reaction of your partner. Your partner will say, "Whoa, what does she has to say to me now?" He's going to think the whole Sunday. He might actually ask you, can we meet before that time?
Yeah.
Because that gentleman or lady would not be able to sleep. But Miss Glee, what she's saying, I absolutely agree with her as well. Because if she's going to be nervous or, put too much pressure on what she's supposed to do at work, how is she going to plan a business opportunity or business project in her future? So she has to, at her workplace, she has to stay calm and focus because that's what's going to help her to focus on the project she wants to do. But if she's going to be too disturbed at her workplace, it's not going to help her to focus on the new project.
Yeah, that's really true.
It's a mind game. We all are humans. We need to keep ourselves calm and try to find friends who give you peace of mind.
Well, I feel like from today I found friends.
Yeah, and I'd like to take what Miss Glee said out, pan it out to like the 10,000-foot view. And it's not the same situation as what you're in, excuse me, Sabah. So don't take this that way. But if something negative happens in our lives, we have a tendency to share that 7 times more than anything positive. And this goes back to a default and it's not a fault, but it's the default in our DNA that lends towards being upset. And it takes leadership to move us to a place that is where we can solve that problem. Like instead of complaining, like, Miss Glee was saying, get to a place where you can try to solve it and try to recognize within ourselves when we're angry or when we want to complain, how well maybe we can move to a place of gratitude, or how that anger keeps us from solving the problem. And what we really need to use is go back to Ina's creativity and Radhika's creativity to solve that problem and to address it in a way. And I agree with you, Your Excellency, that we should do communication next, because those tough moments where you're not getting along with somebody, this is when you have to communicate in a graceful way. And I joked earlier that when we're mad at our loved ones, we can't throw our cell phone at them, but we have to be able to say, you know what, I'm not okay with this, or I want to go in a different direction. And we have to communicate in a way that we're not fomenting anger, but that we are moving in a healthier direction. So these were two totally different topics, but it does go back to recognition of what's going on deep inside of ourselves in order to find a way to be authentically optimistic moving forward.
Absolutely.
Somebody else. So Radhika, you've been quiet. Ina, you've been quiet. Anything that you have, something must have sparked in your brains.
Ms. Radhika, I would request you, just considering what communication, Ms. Radhika, for me, she's gone few levels up just in the communication she has done. I'm super impressed. And Ms. Radhika, please share how your communication skills. Everybody has an opportunity to learn. We all need to be ready to open to learn. And Ms. Radhika, what have you learned with the communications you've been making lately?
Yes, first of all, I want to explain about the cultural diplomacy. It's very interesting what we are doing with our art, fashion, and cultural diplomacy group. We started to show our works and to communicate and to explain everything we expose in this exhibitions. And also Mr. Farhan organized for us last time day of talk where everyone has the opportunity to explain how every person understands art and being in art and sharing the skills every person has. And it is very interesting to see from our first edition to our fourth edition how we developed our vision about art and how we moved from a small idea to big exhibition at UNESCO last days, and this was a great achievement for us to see our group growing and becoming strong and interesting for people, and I think this is most important to develop one idea to real achievement.
Excellent. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Ronica. I've watched a lot of these videos and pictures that you put up on Instagram. And earlier, was talking about soft diplomacy. Well, I guess we all are basically talking about soft diplomacy, and Christina was talking about that too. That these moments that you are creating are positive, and they help people get to know each other such that business can go smoothly, whether it's public sector or private sector. And I did remember that, could hear well that Christina was talking about those different sectors. But what you're doing is, it's not just about art and culture. It's about helping people to communicate better, to get to know each other better, so that just as like when I met His Excellency, we just kept talking, and over time we decided to do a project together. And it's the moments that you're creating that are the germination, the genesis of those future projects. So they're vital for what's coming next in our world, and they're positive. And there's so much negativity out there, and there's so much anger out there, and fake news or whatever. But what you're doing is returning us to a place of sound optimism, and creating a very healthy space. And so your leadership out there, I love watching it. Back to you, Your Excellency, or should we decide to wrap up soon? Maybe you're muted, Your Excellency.
I think we have covered almost every aspect of our topic, and I think the other important thing is diversity. So it's a very important subject in ethics is also diversity. So we are a diverse group today, and we are proving that we can all work together. And end of the day, we are all human. This disregard to where we are, but there's different things to learn from based on the geography you belong to. And as all good things, every country, every geography has good and their core values. You'll find good things in their lives, and they need to share. People need, end of the day, people need to communicate what you have. We have very few storytellers left in the world. And that's a problem because even the storytellers are going on to their mobiles, isn't it? So this is the problem we have. So none of us is actually holding a mobile because actually the mobile is in front of us. So, so which is great. At least I would advise from today, please, if you have some aches in your hands, it's because of you hold your mobile. So try to put it on a stand or somewhere. You don't have to hold it for at least and eventually you would give away that holding the mobile thing at least. So we have to prepare for the future. Everything is so connected. Artificial intelligence is coming very strong in our lives. Perhaps we will just have to do this kind of movements in the future to change things, to do things, because everything could be projected, not holding the mobile. Perhaps we would have something like a chip in our hands, which we can. We are falconers in Qatar, so we are the most densely populated falconers in the world. And the falcon, when we take our falcons to the hospital, the falcons are chipped. And once they scan the falcon and they know what's the name of the falcon, who owns it, what's the breed, and what was the last consultation, all the details. And luckily, we don't have the privilege, but the falcons can get the MRI test done the same day. So we don't know how things are progressing in the future, but we need to stay communicated. I think that's my message today.
Thank you.
Speak your heart out. There's no problem speaking your heart. There's nothing. Trust me, nobody has no problems. Everybody have problems. Everybody face negative people on day-to-day basis. You're not alone. It's anybody here. We are all facing challenges, but the way we handle those challenges will be different. That's the only difference. Anger cannot be met with anger. Anger can be met with communication, saying what you saw in that person, what the person has said, what you need to reply, and you have to say, this is what I saw. And then you leave that person, because we can't fix people. It's a saying, everybody, you can bring the horse to the water, you can't force it to drink. Yeah, so you have to leave the horse to drink in his own time. Sometimes it takes time, but you can't force anything. It's just do your right things, what you think is right. Believe in your ethics and your values, because those ethics and values are appreciated by, it doesn't matter who and where you are. And good is good. Good will prevail. Thank you.
Yeah, what you made me think of, Your Excellency, is that if this platform can do one thing, I would love for it to help women become more assertive, in that we are often trained to be compliant when we're young. We be a good little girl. And I think that Sabah maybe needs us to support her in being in not being so compliant, but in speaking from her heart. Like you just said, Your Excellency, speak your mind. You are relevant in your space, and your leadership is needed in this moment. And I'll transition real quick. We're just ending up, Meg and Melissa. These people are joining from London. Dr. Mugasakisi Cox and her daughter Melissa. I invited them because they are scout leaders, international scout leaders, and the scouts lead with their values, and they literally wear their values on their sleeves. Hi, Melissa. How are you today? Melissa, you're muted. Meg, can you fix the volume?
My apologies for being very late. I was helping coordinate and run a fundraising sale for our local church, and it ran long. We had to put all the tables away, but I think we made about £900 in total for church fundraising. So
that's excellent.
So yes,
core values in action, Melissa.
Yes, I very much so. And also, I personally sold some of my own things and other stuff to help fund the Scouts trip to Nepal on the 5th of November. So that was also very helpful.
So that's one reason why you're in sweats and they're not in business attire.
No, I'm not.
They're running a church event.
Yes.
to
That's
raise
why
money to go to Nepal to a school. And
yes, we're fundraising three blind schools, a school for the deaf, and an eco school, a green school, which is established, but only half of the building is constructed. The other half of the building and the classrooms are under construction. That school has been put together entirely by donations and land parcels from business owners, and one of whom is a personal friend, and with no government funding. In fact, the Nepalese government is unofficially actively opposing that kind of stuff. So yes, that's the kind of work that we are involved in.
well, and that's an example of there's a tough situation, but you're not focused on the negativity. You're focused on making a positive impact in this place. So
Very much so.
Excellent. So
Thank
we
you
were
very
just
much for inviting us. It's much appreciated.
well, I just listed the core Scout values of trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. And when I visited Meg and Melissa when I was in London this year, I brought books with me, and we delivered some books to a place where they are in need in London. And they're bringing some of those books with them to Nepal to these schools.
We have also donated some of the books that you brought us to St. Richard's Hospice and St. Elizabeth's Hospice. Actually, they took some after you left us for kids that are going they're going to leave this world very soon, and we did go down there after you left to take them personally, and since then 3 children that we gave books to are, well, the inevitable. Yeah, so that personally, not unexpected, but still very hard to deal with, and emotionally it's not something I can ever get my head around. It's not losing a child. It's not the natural way of things. So it was rather upsetting on a personal note. We sent cards, we sent flowers from us and from the Scout group as a whole.
But you're still focused on making a positive impact where you can. And
yes,
in moments of grief, that's where it's very important.
Technically, there's nothing positive. There's positivity in what we're doing, but there's nothing positive in the act itself of knowing that your child is going to die.
But what you're doing
about it, but what we're doing,
yes,
is trying to make a horrendously unimaginable situation a little easier.
And that's brilliant.
For anyone who's got kids, go hug them and tell them that you love them, because no, seriously,
value.
It's very much what we do. And we have, going back to our work in Nepal, we have just taken delivery of how many canes? How many canes? 25. They just arrived.
Canes for the blind.
Canes for the blind school. We ordered them.
Take them to Nepal.
And on a personal note, for both of us, we are also volunteers and patrons of the Suffolk Sight loss charity that is responsible for helping to provide sight loss advice and support in our local area. They have also agreed to donate the same again from their own personal stores to the Nepal project, with the proviso that we tell them that this charity donated them in conjunction with us.
Excellent work.
So they will be
excellent work, Melissa.
And if anyone wants to see videos or posters or photos of the work that we do, there's our Facebook page, International Scouts Volunteer Group.
I'll add you to the group chat, Melissa, and we'll link you in, because Sabah is also in London.
Oh,
so
where if you excellent.
I used to do scouting in Wales. and I used to be part of that scout group,
Ah.
just that's near my area. So
Whereabouts are you?
Wales in
Yeah.
Swansea.
Oh, sorry, she's
Yeah.
in Wales.
It's fine. It's fine.
But
Swansea.
I do come to London often because my family and my siblings, all of them, they live in London.
Oh, excellent. If you are ever in London, let us know and we can pop down.
That would be
And
great.
we have
Next year.
also we have a fellow scout leader who lives in London, Judah Digway, who is also helping to run the ISVG UK part of our organisation, and he's also currently president. So yeah,
It would be
excellent.
great to chat with you. Lovely. I will definitely pop the message.
It is just 2.5 hours drive between London to Cardiff, I believe.
Yeah, it's not that far. Not that far. I have friends in Wales as well, so it's not that far.
So we end our session by making yet another connection. And it's not lost on me that there are so many people that are in this group who were born in another country and now live in a new country. Dr. Cox was born in Turkey and she's now living in England. Christina is from Macedonia, living in Qatar. And Ina is from Hungary, right? Is that correct? No. Where are you from, Ina?
Miss Kata is from Hungary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Miss Rodica is here. She's spouse of Ambassador of Moldova.
Oh, yes.
And we had Miss Kata. She's a diplomat from the embassy of.
Okay.
She's an attaché for commercial. This is very important, which is very much connected with business ethics. This is why we spoke about Miss Kata. And she held single-handedly a business conference, which is so amazing for me to participate, and how she brought the soft touch, a woman's touch, to a business event by bringing in, asking them to have a story behind their business.
Yes.
And which is for me is very impressive, ladies, that you need to have a story behind your businesses. Because a story is what people will go back to more traditional style, because people eventually, when we get hit 100% by AI and robotic worlds, my friends who are going to Nepal, I mean, they are showing they're not robots, they're humans, because robots will not do what they're doing for humanity, you see. So it's real people like us will always be there to serve the world, because robots won't be able to feel the other human because they're robots. And we need to continue serving. I thank our friends from London to what they're doing, and congratulations. And actually, Midas, I hope everything's okay with your logistics and everything you're doing in Nepal. If there's anything we can do from here through Nepal, we could try to talk to them if there's any help needed for you.
That would be excellent. Wait, I'm not muted, am I?
You are not muted.
You're not.
Okay,
You're speaking
sure.
with Sheikh Farhan al-Sheikh al-Sayed.
Good afternoon. I'm afraid I'm not sure what the formal address would, how to address you. Your Excellency, I apologize. Very good to speak to you, and any help would be greatly appreciated.
I'll drop you and your mom into the group chat, and we'll work it out.
I would like to say thank you for what you said about AI and even acknowledging it. I mean, as a blind person, AI is helpful. I use it all the time. All of my apps, my Smart Cane app, which my Smart Cane is arriving soon. I've had to order it. Is based on AI. So artificial intelligence has its place, and I champion it, but only to a point. I believe it will be detrimental to, and already is being detrimental to, several sectors of the work environment. And I did read a paper, and if I can find the link where I read it from, I will post it in the group chat, that has predicted that by 2030, AI will be responsible for 25% reduction in the currently available jobs in certain sectors, computing, analytics, data statistics collection, even automated spreadsheets, things like that. So I'm glad that someone brought that up, and I can't help thinking that it would make an excellent debate point in the next global forum, unless you've already done it previously.
No, we haven't.
And we haven't. We will definitely keep that in mind. Thank you, and for the good work you're doing. Amazing, brilliant work, and carry on your good work, and spread the word of love and care to all the people you serve. And if there is anything to be done diplomatically to support you, we will do that.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Much appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, I think that's a good note to end on. We've been here since for almost 2 hours now, and every time we have this, I grow as a person. So I thank all of you for being here and helping me to become my better self. And our hearts are going to be with Sabah this week. Hopefully, we'll get some good news back. And I'll publish some Instagrams when I get around to making the videos. So thank you, Your Excellency, for being the patron of our group. And I'll see you guys all soon.
Apologies. Before you go, may I just say one more thing?
Hurry, yes.
The first time we ever went to Nepal, we went to a small village that's responsible for growing tea plantations. And the work they're doing is fantastic. 2 weeks ago, there was a massive landslide, Ilam, in south eastern Nepal. That entire village, the guest house where we stayed, and half of the tea plantation that we went to see is gone. So just when everyone is thinking about the work that we do, including all the search and rescue and awareness work that we do, that's why we do what we do.
Thank you.
I just wanted to make you aware that we don't do what we do for recognition. We do what we do because things like this happen. And I lost some good friends, some good people, and 120 are dead. And last count, there are still 482 people missing. And that happened 13 days ago.
Sorry. Thank you. Thank you for letting us know.
You know, I just wanted to let you know that that's why we do what we do. Yeah. One of the
all the best with your projects, and to everybody, thank you, and all the best whatever you do. And thank you for joining us. Dr. Jessica, you can finish.
Okay. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I won't take any more of your time, but we'll see you in the group chat. Aloha for now.
Bye, everyone.
Aloha.
Bye. Bye, Radhika, Christina, Sabah, Ina.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Melissa and Meg.
God bless everyone.
Your Excellency. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I can't end it until...
Can you? I can't.
I have to stop the recording.